Okay, we have Metallica, Nothing Else Matters. And Like Nothing Else is actually off of a Pepsi beach towel that I have. And Pepsi, I guess, is no good for you either. I gave up soda a year ago. Just drink coffee and water and tea right now. Okay, so we talked a lot yesterday about toxic foods, about toxic people. We had a world card that was upside down, and today we have two world cards upright. And what I want to talk about there is nothing else matters except for your mission. Okay, now I've been doing that attitude for probably my whole life, but once I got undumbed down and out of the matrix, of course, that was my number one goal. So I've been doing it all my life, preparation, getting sober, going to AA, finding out who we are, releasing karmic debt. But the last 5 years, it's been really intense because I've been alone with pets and nobody to mess with me. And I could totally concentrate on me. So this world mission energy that I'm getting right now is nothing else matters. Nothing else should matter. A job, a pentacle, even a pet, okay? Nothing else should matter except you fulfilling your mission. Now, I had a song that was going to come on here, but it's Blink 182. It's called Carousel. And you can look it up and you can look up the lyrics. But I didn't want to put it on my playlist. I have the CD. I didn't want to put it on a shorts because it's too depressing. It's the energy that I don't want you to get into. So yesterday, how I said the songs could go negative or positive, that's kind of what I'm saying. So if you look up Blink 182 Carousel, the lyrics are where I don't want you to go with your brain. I want you to have the attitude of nothing else matters except this mission. So the world card was saying that we're going towards our abundance with that Ace of Pentacles. It's a yes, it's two world card missions with the lovers. So you're both on a world mission. You're both going to connect. You're going to relocate for comfort. You're going to have equal give and take in that manifesting area, which is so important. Remember when I said you had two halves of an apple? That was like my last 30-year mission partner, John. He would go this way, I would go this way, but we'd always get to the third point, C, right? Except he took this route and I took this route. This time, for the end here, for this world mission, you're going to have somebody that is exactly like you. Two whole apples from the same branch, okay? Fulfilling the world mission for comfort, for abundance. You both manifest the same way. You both think the same way. So he doesn't even think about going this way. He thinks about going this way, and so do you. And you both go together and you get to that point. Okay? So one person is not going to be your other half. They're going to be your other whole. So that's a big difference. That's a big difference between a soulmate and a mission partner and a twin flame. Okay? Some of you are going to still stay alone because your twin is too high ranking. Let's say, for example, your twin was an archangel And he decided he does not want to take on a physical body and help you with this. He wants to stay in his high realm. Then you're going to have to just finish this out alone. And it's not that long, and you can do it. Then there's some of you that are still in that phase because we're all on different levels. We're all on the same high timeline here right now, but we're on different levels, okay? You're going to get a mission partner. Best example I can give you is a cook and a waitress. A waitress runs around, gets the orders, maybe even busses the tables, right? And keeps the front of the house going. The cook is in the back making the food and keeping the back of the house in order. What do they have? They have two halves making a whole. Okay? So that's the difference between mission partner and twin flame. Your soulmate could come in, and that could be somebody that you just totally fall in love with. You finish this movie with, but again, it's going to be someone more of he goes A, you go B, but you both get to C. That's great. I had that for 30 years. It was awesome. Now I'm either going to be alone or I'm going to get that Hierophant, that one that thinks like me. The cards are saying it's right there. Okay. And the reason we read the cards, or I read the cards for you, is because it backs up my energy that I'm feeling, and it gives you pictures to look at. It gives you songs to look up. It gives you the lyrics to the song. It gives you melody. I would love to be cranking Metallica's Nothing Else Matters in the background when I talk, because I just love that song. I love that band. Ride the Lightning is one of my favorites. That's an album, but I've already shared that with you. It was a concert I went to in a little bar, and I sat in the speakers up front. I won free tickets from the radio station with Armored Saint and Wasp. But I've told you all that in the past. So if you watch my videos, I hope you are studying my channel. I hope you're watching every single thing on there. I hope you're studying it like a class. That's the only way you're going to get me, and the only way you're going to get my message. I'm not one of these, like in AA, I would tell you, you got to do the assignments, you've got to read the books, you've got to come to meetings. I wasn't one of these that just wanted to go out for coffee and talk about the weather before or after a meeting. No way. So we're going to go ahead and check out some of these cards. That's pretty much the shorts. I summed it up in a sentence in the comments underneath the shorts. It was real cut and dry. But I do want to go over the two world cards and what's under them for a deeper meaning. So let me grab them. And we have a pretty picture in the background of, this is a pretty bird. There's the birdies. Two birdies, and again, two birdies. Now the devil just flipped over, and that is from the two world cards, because he does not want you to have this world success, because that's who we're taking out. We're taking out him. So of course he don't want it. And then judgment wanted to show itself on this one. So you see what I'm saying? Two world cards and judgment and the devil. That kind of tells you everything right there. So we'll go ahead and we got the Rider-Waite and the Light Seer. So let's go ahead and I'll shuffle these up, and we'll just have a little reading here. I'll go ahead and show you this picture because it's really pretty. And the lights are not blinking behind me, but they are blinking on camera. Okay, so we're shuffling these up. What do you want to tell them about their world mission, getting judgment on the devil? And yesterday's video, this is every day they just continue. They continue like a world mission soap opera. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of calling this. Okay, bottom of the deck, the world again. Okay? We're turning the world upside down. We're bringing the world back into what it was. So after all that shuffling, what wanted to come back was the world card. And under the world is this is your destiny. So you see, I wouldn't even have to keep going with this message because that shorts made it so clear. And everything I just set up to now, 11:11 on the clock, that's the whole message, okay? But we're trying to go deeper. So it's your destiny, and they want you to use your Queen of Wands right now energy and be creative. I'm drawn to all the color matches in the background. So the yellows and the greens, I'm drawn to get out in nature, especially with that picture and all the color matching and the lights blinking a lot. They want you to do more in nature. So if you like to fish, I hope you catch and release, because I can't even go fishing anymore because I feel so sorry for the fish. And that even started back when I had my old mission partner, and he would want to go up to Lake Hemet and get trout, and we'd take it and we'd put it in the refrigerator and eat it, right? But it got to where we weren't catching any fish anymore because of my vibration of I didn't want them fish dying and me eating them when I didn't need to be killing them and eating them. It wasn't for survival, okay? Just like people that hunt, you know, I can't deal with it. I don't like killing any animals. I save flies out of the drinking water outside from the cats. I go out there every hour and save flies. So I can't do it. I can't go fishing. I could go out in nature, but I'm not going to go fishing. Okay, so use your Queen of Wands, your creativity, and figure out what you're doing here. Have some fun. And yeah, have some fun. And then death came up because we're putting an end to this. You also saw in the shorts where it said relocating. I think in the future we're going to be really busy relocating. I think once you find your mission partner, your soulmate, even if you're alone, I think we're going to get into some kind of a new financial system or a new career of some sort that's going to pay you well, and you're going to be able to move. Even if you think, oh no, I am really liking where I'm at now, I still have this feeling that everybody's going to be uprooted in the future. Even though, like me, I'm really comfortable where I'm at, I still see me moving. And it's like, I can't get that vision out of my head that I'm moving in the future. So this is death to the old. And it's because of the energy. It's like you're where you're at right now because your frequency, grid holders, you're in your community and your place right now for a reason, but then they're going to advance you into something else. So they're putting a death to the old way. And then the top of the deck, we have your warning is don't get into any kind of a Nine of Swords energy where you're going to feel like this picture. Okay, so that's why I said to look up Blink 182, is it? I'm going to just grab that CD and you can look it up here. It's called Blink 182. and it's called Carousel. And that's exactly the picture for that song, Carousel. And I don't want to go there. So that song could be past tense for me, but for a lot of you, it's present tense, future tense if you don't listen. So we don't want to get like this card. That's your warning. And I told you that. I said, you're your worst energy. And you're your worst energy. You're your worst enemy. And again, that's why I said to get out in nature, because that's going to help you ground. Now, we have the Eight of Wands, but it's in reverse. So you're lacking communication with people. And again, that's why we need to get more connected. That's why I opened up my personal readings for scheduling only right now. In person only, and we can decide where we want to meet. If we want to meet at the mall, if we want to meet at the park. I want it to be outside or somewhere in public. I don't want a lot of people coming to my house. I don't want to go to anybody's hotel room, type of thing. I want it to be open and nice. So maybe come here and we'll go to Mary Henley Park. There's a few parks around here, but I am scheduling for in-person meetings for readings. Right now, the communication has been very quiet. I've been closed. I've been going through another big upgrade, but they said that's done. Okay. They said it's time now to get out in nature, get with people, do things, but doing it outside publicly, not stuck in a house. Okay. And what do I pick next is the Eight of Swords, which is the stuck card. So that's exactly what they're saying. They don't want you to get into that 8 and 9 of Swords, right? There's the stuck card, 8 of Swords. That's what you feel like. The 9 of Swords, which is anxiety. And in the middle was no communication, isolated. We're coming out of that, okay? That's what I want you to break free from, okay? We're going to take that Carousel lyrics and put that with the 8 and 9 Swords. Okay, so that was your warning from that deck. Now we're going to go ahead, and this was the big Judgment, came up twice from this deck. So what's another little message that you want to tell everybody? Yeah, I really think that's fun. I like to go to the mall once in a while. I haven't been there since I bought my last perfumes. I did buy my white diamonds. I've got Obsession, Gloria Vanderbilt. I've got Beautiful. I've even got some Avon Musk. So I've got a bunch of perfumes, and I love wearing perfume. Today I have on white diamonds, Elizabeth Taylor. Okay, so we've got Page of Pentacles in reverse, and the Strength card was upright. So we had the Page of Pentacles in reverse. That to me is telling me that your abundance still isn't here. So the things that I'm telling you, like moving and soulmates, that stuff isn't quite here yet. So you don't really feel like getting into action, but you can liquidate. You can liquidate things and you can organize. And if you don't want to get rid of things, you can still organize. Because some of you don't want to get rid of your stuff. Okay, I have a house still full of stuff, like this picture, right? Stuff everywhere. And I already got rid of a whole shitload of stuff. So what am I going to do when I move? Am I going to take this picture with me? That will depend on that moment. I don't need to decide that today, and you don't either. Just get rid of the stuff that you don't necessarily want to take with you, and you know that for sure. And then keep the stuff that's a maybe. Okay? And the only thing having your head is you and your pets are a for sure. Okay? You and your pets are for sure going. But if you could go into a empty place and refill it, that would be best, and refill it with new stuff that doesn't have energy of old stuff. Okay, and that's hard to do too because I'm a big thrifter. I love to go to thrift sales and rummage sales, and I stopped doing that. Okay, because I'm taking on other people's energy. So now if I buy something, like I bought my lava lamps, I bought them brand new. I didn't buy them secondhand. That's hard to do for me because all my life I've been a thrifter. See, just like yesterday when I said I gave up meat, I gave up soda pop. I'm telling you all these things because I don't tell you to do something if I haven't done it. I'm not one of them teachers that say, do what I say, not as I do. No, I say, do as I do, and then get the results, get the right results. So you're going to have strength in this. This isn't easy. Okay, it's not easy going from a human to a lion. Look at her face, right? I always think that's funny. It's not easy ascending. It's not easy changing. So I want everything new energy. So hopefully my new house will be empty and I can go into it and bring my own new energy into it. So if I'm going to be doing this alone, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to buy it empty and buy it new, probably like a new house empty, and then fill it. But I can't say that that's for sure what I'm doing because I have no clue. I can't see in front of my face. You know, they're giving me nothing. They're not letting us know what our future is. So I can sit here and speculate all I want. 8 of Cups, all I'm saying is you have to have strength and you have to walk away from the past. 2222 was on the clock. So walking away from the past, having strength to do that, letting the burden go. This is the 10 of Wands and it was in reverse. So this is you leaving. This is you moving forward. This is you putting an end to the past. Everything I just said, exactly backed up. And then what comes back is judgment. So we're not going to keep repeating ourselves because the message was very clear here. It ends where it starts. Listen to your higher self. Judgment, I think we had it like 3 or 4 times between yesterday and today. And the basic message is you can't really do a whole lot of action. All you can basically do right now is organize and liquidate. Got to have strength. It's hard to go from a human to a lion. You're walking away from the past and you're finishing all the burdens. 10 of Wands was in reverse with the 8 of Cups. So that's going to be you in the future, leaving the past behind. And then I'm also drawn to the ocean. So a lot of us may be going to the ocean and living in a house on the water. Okay, so we're going to leave it there. And underneath judgment, just for fun, is the 9 of Pentacles. And that's your going towards your abundance. That's the 9 of Pentacles card. So between the Ace of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles, you had the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Just saying that it's time for liquidating and organizing and waiting for the script to come. Because it is a script. This is a movie. And we are the stars. Okay, I am Miss Mystic. Thank you for listening.